What is up, my fearless networking friends? Todd Falcone here. Welcome back to another episode. Okay, so let's just have a little chat, shall we, about why people fail in network marketing. Let's just put it out on the table, have a discussion about it, and then we can figure out what to do about it. Okay? So, look, does everybody who comes into network marketing win? No. Does everyone who works network marketing win? No. Okay, I guess we could probably stop right there. But the question really is, why is it that some people win and some people don't win? In other words, why do some people succeed and why do others fail in network marketing? Because I got to say this, first of all, the concept of network marketing, regardless of company, product, whatever, is the same. Okay, it's a way of moving goods or services to end users through a network of independent distributors or affiliates. That really essentially, by definition, is what network marketing is. Okay, so it's a distribution model versus, where it's sold through independent reps versus bought on the shelves, or, somebody goes to a website and buys, a product off of a website, even though there's certainly a degree of e-commerce, if you will, in today's network marketing world. But, the question we got to look at is, why do some people fail while others win? I think it's a pretty good conversation to have, especially when you're building a team and you're wondering, why is this person winning and why is this person not winning? And there could be a number of factors, but look, the viewpoint that I have is a pretty good viewpoint. And it's a long viewpoint. It's 30 plus years of being both in the field as a rep and being a trainer, being on both sides of those equations, coaching, working with lots of people. So number one is this, okay? And this, I'm just going to be as blunt and straight up with you guys as possible. And you need to be blunt and straight up with the people that aren't winning on your team and guide them and direct them so that they can win. So first and foremost, and I'll just say this generally speaking, people that work network marketing works for them. That's a general statement. If you work your network marketing business will work for you overall, okay? So we got to look. So, okay, if that's the case, then people fail sometimes because they don't actually work the business. And the truth is, there's a lot of people that don't ever work the business. They don't do anything at all. They sign up. I mean, if you've been involved in network marketing, you've had people that have signed up and literally done zero. The one thing they did do is they gave the company money and they signed up, but then they never did anything after that. So why should that person, why should that person, let me gather my thought here. What I don't like is how that person is included in the statistics of, if you're looking at the income statistics, like an income disclosure statement that a network marketing company provides the public, which most of them are required to do, that person that signed up into the business that never even attempted to do anything is included in that statistic, which is crazy to me. I mean, just because they gave the company money and are identified, quote, as a distributor, they're thrown into that statistic, which actually kind of creates this, off statistic where it, shows a higher percentage of people fail. Well, they failed because they never did a damn thing. That's the truth. Now, the second thing is there are people that are busy doing stuff, but they're just not doing the right stuff. They're busy, they're posting on Facebook and waiting around, and they're showing up for the trainings, which is great. And they're, every once in a while, maybe they talk to somebody, but they're never really proactively focused on revenue producing activities. It's no different than selling. So, I mean, there's a difference, but if you were an employed sales rep and you never prospected, you would get fired, and you would be a failure in that situation because you literally just sat at the desk and never did anything. You played Tetris at your desk or something. Of course, you would fail in that job because you never actually did the very thing that's going to lead to the revenue. And this is not BS. This is straight up the truth. And so, like, you're going to have some people that come to you and they're like, oh, it's not working for me. Well, and they're bummed, which I get. And then, but the thing is, like, for you, when you have this ammunition, you're like, okay, somebody comes to you and they've been around for a little bit, and they're like, okay, well, I'm quitting. This just isn't working for me. I'm like, okay, brother. So I get it. I hear you. Let me just ask you a question before you go. So you say it's not working for you, and you say it's not working for you. Give me, like, you've been with the company for like a year and a half. Like, in the last 90 days, like, how many people have you brought this product to or this business to? Like, get it, like, see if you can get a straight answer. And the straight answer you're pretty much always going to get is, well, not enough. So they already know why they're not succeeding, why they're not getting the result, and they're upset and discouraged at the lack of result from the work that they know that they never did, which is, that's total insanity to me. So here you are, like, complaining about how it's working. You're about to bail, which then, you're gone. You're either gone to another company, or you're going to repeat the same thing all over again, or you quit the business altogether. And then, somebody says, oh, I thought you were in this network marketing. Oh, it didn't work for me. And it's like, like, for example, if you have friends that or anyone for that matter that you're talking to, and like, yeah, I had a friend that tried one of those things and it didn't work. The key word is they tried one of those things. You don't succeed in network marketing by trying something. So, when you really get the truth, it's like, well, they were in it for like a month, or they were in it for 2 months, or they tried it for 3 months, and they were in for 6 months, or whatever the timeline is. That doesn't matter. They came in and they gave it a shot, but they didn't really apply themselves, and they didn't apply themselves for long enough to see the results. So there's different reasons. Now, either they didn't do the work at all, they did a bunch of busy work that didn't matter, or the other part of the equation is maybe they were doing the right work. They were prospecting, they were exposing, they were inviting, they were following up, they were plugged in, but they only did it for a month, or they did it for 2 months, and they're all mad because at like month 4, I'm not making 10 G's a month, and so they're quitting. So then it's like a matter of like managing somebody's expectations. It's like, Rome wasn't built in a day. Neither will be your downline. I mean, it's crazy what happens with people that come into this business that think I should have this by this time. And so sometimes we have to, I had to manage my own expectations. I was 2 years into my first network marketing deal with 0 to show for it. I mean, I was working, I was inviting, I was prospecting, I was showing up every single day, and 2 years in had nothing to show for it. So for all intents and purposes, I should have been one of those guys that bailed out, but I didn't, because I don't know, I was stubborn. I was like, I had the attitude, like, I don't care how long this takes. I'm gonna do it until I get this freaking thing figured out. And that should be people's attitudes. I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna draw a line in the sand, I'm gonna make a decision, I'm gonna do this. I'm never gonna stop doing it and doing the right activities until I get it figured out. And that's the other thing. Like, I came in with no skills, no confidence, no knowledge on the business, no business experience. And so I was like fresh and new to this business. It took me a while to kind of figure out how to talk to people and how to talk to people confidently and have a little bit of posture. And it took me a while to develop my skill sets. So there's one of the main points I want to make is that there's nothing inherently wrong with network marketing, okay? Honestly, it's probably one of the most brilliant ways of moving goods and services to end users, because the company owners, they don't have to worry about trying to create shelf space and fighting and battling for shelf space and running millions of dollars in advertising for brand awareness. They don't have to do any of that. The only time they pay is when the product is moved. So it's moved through a commission base of independent group of people that, when the product is moved, then the commissions are paid. So from that standpoint, it's absolutely freaking brilliant. I mean, I saw that as a naive 22-year-old kid looking at it for the first time. I'm like, what's not to get about this? This is amazing. I can sell this product. I can make a retail profit. I can build a team. I can earn a percentage on everything that the whole team does. Oh, this is great. Like, everybody's doing this, right? And then I realized, like, not everybody was doing it. And then, so I went in there super green, super naive, but very open-minded, hungry to have success, whatever. But, we got to look at, like, why do people fail? People don't fail in network marketing because there's something wrong with network marketing. Now, granted, some network marketing companies suck. Some products are terrible. Some, some of the tools that are provided are awful. But here's the thing, even in those companies, if somebody's figured out a way to win there and you're not winning, it ain't the company, it's you. And it's what you're doing in the company or not doing in the company. So they either don't do the work, they're doing a bunch of busy work, they're doing the work, but they're not doing the work long enough. They're doing the work in a shoddy, terrible, low-skilled, awful manner, which, I mean, they're offensive to everybody that they talk to. They're either too aggressive or they're too shy. On one side, one of the other sides of the equation, they like throw it out there and they're like, oh, I hope somebody calls me back, or they're pounding on people and they become annoying and people don't want to talk to them anymore because like all you ever do is talk about your network marketing thing. Don't you have anything else going on in your life? And they become irritating, but again, I want you guys to know that the reason people fail, in other words, don't earn money in network marketing, has nothing to do with the business model of network marketing. It has everything to do with them in the business model of network marketing, because the profession as it stands today has been around for like with the types of comp plans that we have, probably 80 plus years. I mean, bartering and trading and direct selling has been around for literally eons. But the style that we have today with these types of compensation structures has been around 70, 80 plus years. There's, thousands of companies, billions of dollars of goods and services are moved through this business model. I mean, what is it? I don't know what the most recent statistic is from the WFDSA or the World Federation of Direct Selling Associations. So yeah, WFDSA is like $183 billion a year of goods and services are moved through our model. So, okay, if that's the case, then obviously it works, right? So if you're not working in that, then we have to look at ourselves. Like, so if you're watching me or listening to me right now, and you're in this, it's not working for you mode, or you have a team member and it's not working for them, and they're in that mode where it's not working for them, then we got to look at it. Are you doing the work? Yes or no? Well, what work are you doing? And how much of that work are you doing? And how long have you been doing that work? And have you given it enough time? It's like planting a plant, planting a seed, and like, why isn't it not a tree yet? And it's a day later. I mean, because a tree takes a long time to grow. And they're like, why don't I have a whole tree right now? And I planted the seed yesterday. So, I mean, we'd think that's ridiculous. Like if you planted a seed and it's expecting a tree to grow by tomorrow, it ain't gonna happen. Rome wasn't built in a day. Neither is your downline going to be built in a day. So we have to look at these things and just understand it ain't the industry. It's not. It's you. You're either doing the work or you're not doing the work. You're either doing busy work or you're doing productive revenue producing work. If you're doing the revenue producing productive work, you're either doing it effectively, and if you're doing it effectively, you're making money. If you're doing it ineffectively, you're not making money. And so then what do? That's where I had to come. This is where my development personally had to come into play. It was like, okay, I'm doing the work. I'm not getting the result. The reason I wasn't getting the result is because the work that I was doing was ineffective. I was coming from this beggy, pleady, needy mentality. And I was like, I was desperate, and my desperation was pouring out of my soul with every person. Nobody wants to join a desperate person. So I committed to working on my skills, following and modeling the other successful people, doing everything I could to understand and improve and get better, and knowing full well that was a process. I mean, it wasn't until like my 4th year in network marketing that I had my first, $10,000 plus month in earnings. 4 years. And a lot of people will quit in that time frame, but it's like I think like if more people just do this, like, look, I'm doing this deal until I'm going to do this. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I'm sure as heck going to find out. I'm going to work on my skills. I'm going to never stop working on my skills. I'm never going to not focus on revenue producing activity. I'm going to be keenly aware of what I'm doing every moment of every day. Is what I'm doing right now making me money, or is this just busy, stupid work that's wasting time? And I'm telling my sponsor, oh yeah, I worked my tail off today. Well, how many people did you reach out to? How many people did you prospect? Well, I didn't. I did a Facebook Live and I posted a couple times on TikTok. I mean, those might be things that we do in the business, but those activities on their own are not going to grow you a huge business. So look, it's not that difficult, guys. Either you're doing the work or you're not. You're either doing the work skillfully or not. If you're doing the work for a long enough period of time, you should see the result. And the thing is, if you can honestly say, man, look, I've been doing this deal for 2 years, and I'm not seeing the result. You're not seeing the result that you think you should be seeing at that point. I mean, I've talked to people that are like 2 years in, they're making $5,000 a month in residual income, which is pretty decent. I mean, it's not huge money, but they're like, I should be making 10. Well, I mean, you've never even done network marketing before, and you're at $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month after 2 years. That's in residual income. That's pretty good. Maybe you're not where you want to be, and maybe your expectations were higher and you've under-delivered on your own expectations, so maybe you wanted to modify your mindset on your own expectations, because if you have high expectations and you under-deliver on those expectations, then that leads to frustration and discouragement, and honestly, for most people, frustration and discouragement leads to them quitting. I was frustrated like crazy. I was discouraged like crazy, but I was so freaking stubborn. I'm not going to quit. I'm just going to keep going. But also, while I'm going to keep going, I'm going to look at the things I'm doing, the things that are working. I'm going to do more of the things that are working for me. If I do something and it does not work for me, I'm not going to keep doing it. So we have to be aware of what we're doing. So it's not like there's this like massive analysis that needs to be done here. These are the core reasons. And I want you to take this information and let it sink in, either for yourself if you're struggling, and certainly importantly for people that are on your team that are coming to you and they're struggling, because then you can figure out why they're working or not. And then there's other aspects. Maybe they're prospecting and throwing it out there, but they're not following up. Maybe they're not utilizing third-party validation. Maybe they're using an old tool that's like doesn't do a good job of disseminating information. There might be other holes in the boat, but we can figure out what those holes are. But the main ones, honestly, are they're not doing the work. They're doing busy work. They're not working at all. They've only been in for 2 months and now they're frustrated. So it's not that difficult. It can be figured out. And I will tell you this, everything we do in the business is learnable. So if you're sucking at prospecting, recruiting, communicating, if you're terrible on video, whatever, you can work on that. You can develop those skills, but also understand that is a process, okay? All right, so that's it. That's simple, that's straightforward. Give you some ammunition for yourself if you're struggling, and for individuals that are coming to you that are like, hey, it's not working for me. What the heck am I gonna do? I'm gonna quit. And then you can, maybe keep those people long enough to figure it out for themselves and realize that it's not the business model, it's them, okay? So if you're on my YouTube channel, what's up, YouTubers? Appreciate you guys. If you're on my podcast on audio, love you as well. More details on this episode and all sorts of other things to help you succeed in network marketing are right here at toddfalcone.com/episode 212. Again, TODDFALCONE.com/episode 212. We'll see you next time.